The President of the African National Congress here in Washington for talks with the US government and also to reassure all that recent political developments in South Africa are not cause for concern. His message that it's business as usual. Jacob Zuma, thank you very much indeed for joining us.
Thank you very much indeed.
The US is about to elect a new president. South Africa will be doing likewise within a few months. Is the timing of your visit related to these facts, this change in leadership?
Well, I would say yes. Much as the visit has been arranged over a period, but I think certainly related to that, as you know, the administration will be changing in the United States. I think it was important to see the outgoing administration, firstly to ensure that the relationship that we have had will be able to carry it through. In other words, to see the continuity to the next elections, to the next administration. Certainly, the United States and South Africa has very good relations, and I think both countries have a lot in common in terms of the issues that have got to be dealt with, particularly the role of the United States internationally, and therefore in the continent of Africa.
Now, there have been momentous political developments within South Africa. The President Thabo Mbeki stepping down. In recent months, a movement among some dissident members of the ANC threatening to start a new party. How much of a threat is this to the organization, to the ANC, and to its intent on remaining in power in next year's elections?
The ANC, over its history of almost close to 100 years, has had some of these activities. It has never destabilized the ANC, and I don't think it will at this point in time, particularly because, as it happens in other period, the people who are complaining, they do not have basic organizational complaints against how the organization functions. The problem that has happened is that we have the National Conference. They held particular views and preferences, which is the business of democracy. But once they were defeated, they could not accept that they were defeated.
Earlier this year, you appeared in court contesting corruption charges that had been brought against you, the judge upholding that the charges had been incorrectly delivered to you, and threw the case out of court. News from South Africa now that the state is appealing this decision, has been given the right to appeal this decision. Do you see this ongoing potential for legal action as any threat to your ongoing political intentions in the months ahead?
Not at all. This is not the first time. As you know, there's been almost a ding-dong thing in this case. They have been appealing, and we have been appealing all the time. I don't think it affects the situation, and it is unprecedented that a person has been pursued in the manner in which Zuma has been pursued. And therefore, it doesn't affect. As you know, even before this decision or whatever, the people overwhelmingly have been very clear as to what happens. Of course, in South Africa, we do things constitutionally. Our constitution is very clear. Allegations do not constitute a conviction.
But you do indeed see the state has a right to appeal, to carry through a legal process, as you did in your defense?
Of course, yes. We are in a constitutional democracy, and we respect the rule of law. People have got to take some recourse of one kind or the other legally. As long as this is done within the law, I don't think there is any difficulty.
Now, the question of Zimbabwe, something that you've been struggling with, an ongoing issue within the continent, the subcontinent. Do you think that the South African government as government and the ANC as part of that government has done enough to resolve the issues within Zimbabwe?
I think yes. We worked with the Zimbabweans from the beginning, and we've been together with them up to a point where the package of power sharing was reached, and we all hailed that as an important achievement by the leadership of the Zimbabwean people. And of course, there are difficulties at the moment in terms of finalizing it and implementation of it. The process is on to try to overcome that hurdle. The only thing we can do is to encourage the Zimbabweans, particularly the leaders of the two sides, that the interests of the Zimbabwean people and their plight must be above the interests of their individual political parties.
Jacob Zuma, thank you very much for talking to Al Jazeera.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.